Okay, so moving on to the next question. You have 3 cables supporting a picture frame. And they tell you that force A, the force on the first cable, is 1,000 newtons. The force on cable B is 2,000 newtons. And they want to know what is C. Now, anytime you don't know both the magnitude and the angle, what you need to be thinking is that you're going to use Pythagorean theorem to find the resultant. So we need to know Cy and we need to know Cx so that we can use Pythagorean to find C. And if we do that, we can then use tangent to find the angle, opposite over adjacent. So again, because we have angles in this question, you need to split your forces up into the sum of the forces in the x direction, which will be equal to 0 because the picture is not moving, and the sum of the forces in the y direction, which will be equal to 0 because the picture is not moving. So the one force that is missing on this picture is gravity downward. Make sure that you draw it in. And then we'll just add up our sum of the forces in the x direction. Well, in the x direction, we have this x component of A, and that's going in the negative direction. And we have the x component of C, and that is equal to 0. So whatever C in the x direction is, it's equal to A in the x direction, which makes sense because they have to cancel out so that the picture doesn't slide side to side. So using trig, you can see that this adjacent side is going to be equal to 1,000 cosine 25, which when you put it into your calculator gives you 906 newtons. So this right here is 906. Now we're going to do the same thing in the y direction. So we have AY, and it's going up, so it's positive, plus B, up, so it's positive, plus CY, up, so it's positive, minus MG equals 0. And so we can see that CY is going to be equal to MG minus B minus AY when you rearrange by adding MG to both sides and subtracting A and B. So CY is equal to MG minus 2,000 for B minus, and then to find the y component of A, it's opposite, so you need to use sine. So we will use 1,000 times the sine of 25. And when you put all those in your calculator, you get CY equals 1577. And I use 10 there for G. So this right here is equal to 1577. And then we can just use Pythagorean. So C is going to be equal to the square root of 906 squared plus 1577 squared. So if you're using 10 for G, you actually get 1819 for C. And then theta will be equal to inverse tan. 1577 is opposite over 906 adjacent. And when you put that in your calculator, you'll get 60 degrees for theta.